Hey guys, what's up? It's Jules here for What Culture Wrestling with another episode of the most insane things happening in wrestling this week. Now, if you're wondering who this sexually potent pygmy is next to me, this is Michael Sidgwick. Now, if you're eagle-eyed, you'll have noticed at the end of all the videos that I butcher, it's basically him who writes the script, and I basically just mangle all of his words into a new form and try and be funny. Now, this is what he normally looks like when he's writing this, because let's face it, he doesn't like wrestling. Well, he loves wrestling. That's the problem, but it makes him angry. This is what he normally looks like. But after this week and the Royal Rumble results, this is what he looks like. Welcome to emotions, Sidgwick. Isn't that nice? So this week actually is probably going to be more positive. So that's good. Now f*** off while I earn my keep. That's a good boy. Oh yeah, and I'm World Champion, by the way. There was so much to love about this year's Royal Rumble, from Finn Balor putting the Iron Man back into holy shit, that is an Iron Man, Heath Slater's amazing comedy angle, Rey Mysterio looking like he teleported back to the best shape of his life, and that f***ing win. That win felt so deserved, and it set off screams everywhere across the office when it happened. Shinsuke, you are our boy. Shinsuke versus AJ is destined, we hope, to be an absolute classic, and it is insane to think that headlining the WWE's biggest event of the year are two people who are not homegrown. And this is a direct quote from Sidgwick right here. It was, in your writer's opinion, the greatest Rumble match ever. I'm genuinely unnerved about how happy he is. It's really not normal. And then to follow up the outstanding men's event was the Women's Rumble, which was just the icing on the cake. The main event spot was theirs, and rightly so. And while there wasn't as much storytelling going on in the actual match, the nostalgia value was so high. I mean, massive props to Michelle McCool for just clearing house. I genuinely didn't expect that, although Sidge and Phil did point out that maybe it's because she's taking The Undertaker's tombstone every night. Ugh, I wouldn't want to do that. The Empress of Tomorrow was on form and validates her transition from NXT to main roster perfectly. And it just leaves us thinking, surely she has to be champion now. That is the only road they can take her. Let's hope there's not any shenanigans on the way. Oh, and I guess that Ronda Rousey came out and just pointed to a sign in a really weird way. I mean, who does this? It's like, you're not a fucking billboard for communism. I don't know, I was there for the wrestling that night and not the shade that was overcast by her arrival. I mean, Nia Jax pointed it out pretty well in a tweet. Saucy. Now this is actually a nice story. We all know that TNA/Impact/ Hobo Boxcar Wrestling, whatever they call themselves nowadays, is not in the best possible shape. They're struggling to fill venues, they're struggling to keep talent, and we're struggling to stay f***ing awake watching the matches. But it wasn't always like that, though. In its heyday, TNA was a real competitor to the WWE. But there was one man who stuck with the company through thick and thin. One man who stuck by them with every weird decision they made, like when they did a discount Ric Flair and AJ Styles. That was fun, wasn't it? Well, that was Jeremy Borash. Say what you want about the content going on in the ring, this man's commentary was f***ing choice. He made you feel like the arenas that they were in were at full capacity. He always hyped up the right things, and he gave the broken movement momentum with his funny noises. Basically, he did everything he could for the company. And now he's going over to the WWE in some sort of undisclosed role at NXT. So, good for him. Well, there sure was a lot going on in New Japan this week, wasn't there? Kenny Omega dropped the US title to Jay White, then Hangman Page came out and declared his contention for the championship. And what followed was equal parts school play and absolutely lovely melodrama. Kenny demanded a rematch, then Cody came down to the ring and said, hey, whoa now, not before Page, it is his time to shine, you can't overshadow him. And then in a heated discussion, Kenny pushed Matt Jackson to the floor, injuring his back, which we all know has had some issues. This lit a match under Cody, and the Viper uncoiled, finally striking Kenny Omega with a crossroads and then leaving everyone wondering what the state of the Bullet Club was at that point. Then Kota Ibushi came down with his lovely hair, cleared the ring, and then picked up Kenny Omega and gave him a nice, big, sweaty, man-slapping hug, basically reforming the Golden Lovers, which, as King George would say, is f***ing peng, mate. And this was all underscored by an episode of Being the Elite, which had somber piano music and left the people wondering what the f*** is gonna happen next. This storyline was insane enough, but when you think about the dream matches that we might get from this, the money matches, then that's even better. And it goes to show that New Japan, while not hitting it out the park all the time with their storylines, when they want to, they can step up to the plate and deliver the big hitters. It basically puts the WWE on notice, saying, we don't just do phenomenal in-ring work, we can craft stories as well. Right, enough positivity, let's get on to the f***ing gash stuff, because this week, if you watched SmackDown, you would have seen the new graphics packs that they're rolling out, and they were disgusting. To demonstrate how offensive they were, I've got Phil the editor to animate this segment in the exact same style as a parody. So here we go, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back on, so it'll be like my entrance, okay? This day one ish right here, seen the Jules O's put you in the slammer. Your mom, she's in the slammer. Your dad, you best believe he's in the slammer. Your nan, you better believe your nana in the slammer. This is a worrying state of affairs because it's already turning an over-the-top spectacle into something that is just laughable. Now, Adam Nicholas came up with a good theory, which is that they're trying to get the Facebook market on, so basically people who aren't listening with their headphones can have something to look at and read. But why would you cater to those twats? Put your f***ing headphones in. It's like the WWE sees any shred of subtlety that was left in their company as an insult and must be stamped out. Could you imagine if every single time that Stephanie comes down to the ring and she's like, Monday Night Raw, she like has a f***ing lion on there or something like that? That would be dumb. SmackDown producers, you are having a f***ing giraffe.
You're having a giraffe, mate.
You're having a giraffe. To finish out the week, let's talk about the high note that was the WWE receiving their first 5-star rating from Mr. Meltzer in 6 years. At the recent takeover, Andrade Almas and Johnny Gargano put on a 5-star wrestling match, and to be honest, no one in the office disagrees with that rating. It was phenomenally good. The storytelling, the in-ring psychology, the ending, the other ending, mwah, 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 beautiful. Now, to reiterate, this is the first time that the WWE has got a 5-star rating in 6 years. That is a long time. And I'm pretty sure the last one was with CM Punk as well. So they're probably glad that they've got a new one too. Just sweep that under the rug. Now, I know a few of you might be rolling your eyes at such an accolade and even saying possibly that Dave Meltzer is a bit of a melt when it comes to giving out ratings. For the WWE, he's very, very critical, like super, super critical for them, and yet will seemingly shit out as many stars as he can for anything that's New Japan. And there is some truth to that. There is some truth to that. But at the end of the day, what this is an indication of the talent that the WWE has, and it's just great to see them using it right for once. Now, we often critique the WWE. We do. I know, it's a shock. But occasionally, the planets align, and it gets the stars it deserves. Well f***ing done. You're f***ing welcome. And those are the most insane things that happened in wrestling this week. Now I'm going to close out the show the only way I know how, by reading my favorite comment from last week's episode. Jules strikes me as the type of man who can only achieve climax if Bret Hart's theme song is playing. Well, you know what that means, Phil. Put on his theme song, or a royalty-free version of it. Maybe a MIDI. So there we have it. Thank you for watching, and big love to Phil Chambers and Michael Sidgwick for their continued work on this show. Let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below, then swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. And as always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
So, thanks for watching. Please feel free to click on any of these things around my head, or something terrible might happen to the dog. Too sweet me, bro. Traitor. Traitor. Ha ha ha.